Check, check. Excuse me. Yo, yo, yo. Hello. Check, check. Hello, hello, hello. Let me move this microphone a little closer. Hello, hello. Okay, I think we're good. We're just gonna jump straight
I
into
didn't
the new
expect
stuff.
to find the world's savior alone on Christmas Eve. Can I talk to you for a minute? First off, thank you for taking my request. With your actions, I can only hope that public opinion changes. It will change, won't it?
I'm sure it will.
I believe so too. Shido confessed to a variety of crimes. We can arrest him on those charges. The problem lies in proving him guilty. It'd be difficult unless the correlation between the metaverse and the mental shutdowns is made. I'll be blunt. I want you to turn yourself in to the police.
Turn myself in.
Your testimony will be necessary in order to prove Shido guilty. However, that will mean placing you on center stage. You'll be treated as a hero who saved this country. But there's no way that the police or the public prosecutors will let that slide. If you turn yourself into the police, you'll definitely be arrested. I'll close all the cases surrounding Shido. I intend to expose them all. It's to prevent society from becoming distorted again. That's what you want too, isn't it? I'll ask you once more. I'd like for you to turn yourself into the police, of your own accord.
There's no need for that.
Oh?
You!
If they get their hands on the perpetrator, there'll be no need for him to turn himself in, no?
Alright, I just want to check our guide, see if there's anything specific. You're alive, I
That
guess.
appears to be
The
the
guide does
case.
not mention anything we have to say here.
You said there's no need. Just what do you mean by that?
Exactly as it sounds. I'll agree to testify against Shido and his crimes. I assume that works for you?
You're turning yourself in?
That's right. I have no hidden agenda at this point. If I had to explain myself, I'd say it's simply personal principle that I repay my debts.
For the time being, at least, I'll take your word that you'll cooperate with the investigation.
That would save a lot of time.
I'm sorry. You can forget everything I just told you. I'll take him in myself. I won't try to claim that everything will turn out perfectly for you, but I would bet this case will reach its natural conclusion. No, in fact, I swear that this will be properly settled.
Hell yeah. Shido and the masses have undergone a change of heart, and the case is headed towards its resolution. Must be how things were supposed to happen. That sounds great.
Sorry for kind of keeping you guessing. I was trying to be subtle, but I just really wanted to see you.
Glad I get to see
Yeah.
you.
Especially since it's Christmas Eve. Anyway, let's get dinner. It's probably because we were busy saving the world, but I'm starving. Okay, let's go. Oh, right. Do you want to hold hands? This sucks. I can't believe every place is full. Christmas Eve really is a war zone.
Aww.
Where'd that come from? Not that I'm not happy to hear it. We just gotta pull it together and go get a cake. So, let's go hit the stores. Something tells me they're sold out too. Excuse me, you guys don't have any Christmas cakes left, do you?
Actually, we do.
Yeah, I figured. Wait, what?
One of our orders was canceled last minute. This is the only cake we have.
What? Then... Yes! We want it! We'll pay right now!
Of course. Just wait one moment while I go prepare your order.
Is that Yukari's voice actress?
Wow! Did that just happen? This isn't like a hidden camera thing, right?
Aren't you happy?
Oh, sorry. I was just so happy I kinda short-circuited. But we got cake! Yay, cake! Let's head home and dig in! Ah, so good. This is the best cake ever! I can't believe they let us buy it on the spot. Now that's a gift.
Who do we thank?
I don't know. Christmas in general? Oh, right! Christmas! Speaking of... Ta-da! Here's your gift. I saw it when I was shopping the other day. It's totally your style. And it's only gonna get colder, so...
Thank you.
Whoa. Jeez. If you get so serious about it, you're gonna make me blush. Hmm? You, you got a little something. Some cream on your nose. can't tell me you didn't enjoy that a little bit. I know this might sound weird, but thank you for falling in love with me.
Go with
Hey,
that.
man, I was gonna say that. I love you. Look, look! That's a lot more snow than there was earlier, right? It's gorgeous. I don't know if I've ever been this happy in my life. It feels like I found my fairy tale ending. Well, it's not exactly an ending, I guess. But you know what I mean? When I'm this happy, part of me just wonders if it's real.
It's real.
You're right. I guess I'm just not used to actually being content. Hey, so I can stay out as long as I want tonight. So I thought maybe...
Akechi did what? He turned himself into the police. Sis told me yesterday. He's admitted to being the perpetrator behind the recent cases.
That's right.
So he's alive.
Akechi-kun survived and owned up to what he did.
Well, I feel it's for the best. If Akechi-kun is alive and he can atone for his crimes, that's not a bad turn of events.
Right. Ain't that all stuff to be happy about?
Mm-hmm. It's Christmas. We should enjoy the day to our heart's content. I approve. Let everyone be merry to the max.
I'm the one who should be giving permission, you know. Well, as long as you don't go overboard, I guess you can go ahead and cut loose today.
Hell yeah! Merry Christmas!
He didn't hear a word of that. Fine.
Oh my, this is quite a sight. I'm going to be entirely honest. I wasn't able to bring a dish. Instead, leave the dishwashing duties to me. I'll make sure they turn out beautifully immaculate.
Why don't we all just clean up together?
So, who brought what?
I brought that marinated seafood.
That's super good!
It may not be to everyone's tastes, but I brought that cheese plate.
Whoa! That smells like dirty socks. Oh. Oh, but it tastes great.
Thank goodness. Oh, is this a croquembouche? It's so cute.
I made that all by myself. All I did was buy some cream puffs and stack them up, though.
It's been arranged so artistically that I hesitate to sample it. When it comes to sweets, An truly has us beat.
But then, who brought this box over here?
Ooh, this looks like more sweets. Not mine, by the way.
Me? Kinda?
Ryuji brought sweets?
Ryuji and sweets.
Sweets.
Hey, what are you guys getting at?
It was just a bit unexpected is all. I had expected something along the lines of meat. For some reason, chicken comes to mind when I think of you. Ryuji, chicken? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that in any sort of comparative way.
Please don't keep going. It just hurts even more.
Cheer up.
Did you hear what I just said?
Come on, don't get all depressed. Everyone's here to party.
Everyone.
Oh.
Mona-chan. I was trying my best not to mention it, but it's hard to avoid.
If only Mona could be here with us.
Someone call for me?
Yeah, we were just talking about.
Huh? Wait, what?
How
No
are
way!
you back?
I thought you disappeared!
Looks like the only me that disappeared was the one in the metaverse. So, you stayed in reality as a cat? When I woke up, I was out in Shibuya looking like this. I headed back here right away, but it took a surprising amount of time.
If you were coming back here, you should have told us, moron!
We were so worried.
Sheesh. Well, I brought my own surprise back too. I brought some fried chicken. This doesn't have anything to do with your conversation earlier, though. Any room left on the table?
Oh, now there's our chief for ya.
Talk about everything falling into place.
Come on, let's get started. We're gonna party to celebrate our hard work and my grand return.
Don't push your luck.
Why do you have this? And things are finally back to normal.
Now everyone remembers you.
Oh, here, try these sweets.
Hey!
A close friend.
Yeah! Hey!
Let's save. Oh, we're just skipping on probably to about New Year's. On it.
A year-end party, huh? Oh, let's invite Yoshizawa right away.
Interesting that our
Thank
poll
you for
has
inviting
settled
me.
back around
Although,
50%
I admit,
when I think we
feel
hit
a bit like
100
I'm intruding.
during the events of the end of the original game.
There's no need for modesty. After all we've been through, there are no strangers here.
Yeah, you really helped him out too.
In that case, I'll accept your offer.
Yo, I really can't stop staring at that thing you're wearing.
So it's caught your eye as well. It happened to catch mine while I was strolling through the city. I bought it for myself as a reward for the end of the year. What do you think about the scarf?
It looks great on you.
Thank you. Your compliment is music to my ears.
I don't think anyone other than you could pull it off, Kitagawa-senpai.
This fashion chat is fine and all, but if you don't dig into that soba soon, it's gonna get soggy on you.
Ah, yes. My apologies. Thank you for the food.
It's chow time.
Mmm, so good.
Sakura-san, you made these noodles yourself, right? They're amazing! You could open a soba restaurant.
Oh, thanks. I made a little too much, so if anyone wants a refill.
Seconds, please. How fast do you eat? You eat a lot more than I'd assumed you do, Yoshizawa-san.
Well, she is an athlete.
I don't know if that fully explains what's happening here.
Senpai, don't kid them so much. My appetite's totally normal.
Breaking news on our top story. After nearly 2 weeks of silence, the prosecutor's office is planning to move forward with the biggest case of the year. They have announced that they will move forward in the charging of Representative Shido for his confessed crimes.
It's finally happening.
I was planning on telling all of you about this a little later. This case is all thanks to a certain man's testimony. But I can at least share this one piece of good news with you.
And that would be?
The woman involved in his false charge case has finally come forward and provided her testimony. I can't say for certain yet, but his criminal record may very well be overturned.
For real?
Woohoo!
That's wonderful!
Congratulations, Senpai!
Of course, this is highly confidential. Got it?
What great news! Looks like we really will be having a happy new year.
This is incredible! It's an actual real-life good ending!
And after that, the 2-hour New Year's special of Tokyo Vice. A thrilling tale, jam-packed with some of the network's most famous faces. I'll never give up!
I've been seeing this guy on TV all the time lately. Oh yeah, he's a model turned actor. With a figure like that, I can see how he's gotten so popular.
So he's popular, eh? If I were more like that human, maybe...
The year is winding down to its final moments. Let's take a look at how people are spending it all across the country.
Now that I'm thinking about it, a hell of a lot sure did happen this year.
Right? It's like, how many years of our lives did we actually live through this year?
Quite a lot.
I doubt we'll experience anything even similar to it for quite some time.
Well, this is just from my point of view, but I really hope that's the case.
And I guess starting next year, we'll just be good boys and girls at school.
If that's the case, then I assume you'll be able to handle your summer break homework on your own, right?
Please don't go there, Senpai.
Poor Ryuji.
I don't think I see that happening with you.
Okay, that's
Fine, fine. Can't do it alone. I mean, what do I even do as an honor student?
So much has happened over the past 12 months. But in the end, we got to spend it together like this. I want to believe that this was a great year for us.
Yeah. I don't have any proof, but I feel like next year's gonna be even better for us.
I feel the exact same way. How strange.
Well, that's only natural, considering how pleased we are with our end-of-year celebration.
Young people have been gathering in Shibuya all day for the big countdown at midnight, and this crowd is...
I really don't want to get going, but it seems like it's time.
See you next year, right?
Next year? Sojiro! Osechi time! Get those New Year's dishes ready! Chop chop! And don't forget the black beans!
Yeah, I hear ya. If I start prepping the beans now, they'll be ready by the morning. Don't worry about the food. You just go have a good night's sleep.
Happy New Year. I think it would have been cool if the calendar changed right before this text conversation. It's like the little details is all I'm saying.
Hey, don't tell this to the others, okay? But even after I disappeared, I was still vaguely conscious. And being separated from all of you was really scary. I thought, if it's even a little bit possible, I wanted to come home to you guys. That's why I'm so glad I was able to come back here.
Welcome home.
Yeah. Thanks. Well, it's pretty late. Let's get to sleep. I know I've said this before, but I hope we keep sticking together like this.
Oh? The school counselor's office.
Class will be dismissed momentarily.
Weird.
Get awesome results at track meets alongside everyone else on the team, and eventually I'd get a hold of some scholarships for college to make things easier for my mom.
If that never happened, I would have gotten to enjoy my time in high school with Shiho.
This is weird.
My sister's been supporting the family. It's unrealistic to demand any more of her. I'm helping Okumura Foods grow, with my father watching over me.
I'm going home. Hmm.
Good morning.
Well, I'm up now. Kinda. Sure.
I'm so happy.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
I'm counting on you.
Sorry to make work your first activity of the new year.
That was weird.
Oh, that reminds me. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And I hope you'll continue getting along with Futaba and myself.
We're especially grateful you're open today. You know how everything on TV for New Year's is the same old, same old.
Say, boss, don't you have any plans for this morning?
I could cook some up, so long as you serve yourself everything and pay your bill on the way out.
Ah, right. Can't exactly make plans when you've already got customers.
How about you, young man? Are you going to the shrine for the new year?
That's a wise choice.
Happy New Year. That's what you say today, right?
You have a picture, sir. You must be important. Nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you too. Wait, what are you talking about? Are you still half asleep or something?
Oh, looking sharp.
Oh, you look absolutely lovely, Futaba-chan.
I picked it out with my mom.
Your mom?
Sorry, I don't want to be late to the shrine. More showing off comes later. Well, time to make like a trip.
The year's first shrine visitor. What do you think we should do?
Well, perhaps we don't need to go this year. We don't have any more wishes that need granting.
Maybe it did?
What's up? Did you have plans for today or something?
Yeah, the shrine.
Oh, come on, you should have just said as much then. I'll be fine here, so off you go. Oh, but it's pretty cold out there, so don't forget to dress.
Weird things are happening.
Senpai! Do I look weird? Sorry for the short notice. I couldn't send you a New Year's card, so here we are. Well, shall we? I wonder why. There aren't many people here at all. It's really unexpected. I'd almost prefer the usual crowd.
Yeah, and the end of the year was just a few hours ago.
Believe it or don't, only 364 days until the next one. That is true, but...
I know I'm gonna use the wrong year for a while.
Well, I have an idea. New Year's party tonight to help switch gears? Huh? Didn't expect you two here.
How many coincidences can there be in one day? And a good morn unto you all. I haven't seen you in absolute ages.
We were hanging out just yesterday.
Oh, I guess we all had plans to drop by here first thing today, huh?
This is weird. I don't know how to describe it. There's like an off vibe to this that I'm not
That would
liking.
explain what led us to the shrine, but to this spot at the exact same time? Talk about incredible happenstance.
Indeed, but due to this fortuitous turn of fate, I am able to witness this mesmerizing sight. Truly the embodiment of Japanese beauty.
What are you doing, Kitagawa-senpai? Just ignore him. It's like a fit he gets into sometimes.
So, what do you want to do after this? If we've got the time for it, why don't we grab something to eat together?
I'm sorry, I'll be heading out with my family once we're finished here.
I have somewhere to be as well.
Me too. I'll be dining with my father somewhere. I'm gonna hit up some New Year's sales with my mom.
Well, looks like you're all busy. And maybe I should hit up the track team and see what they're...
Ooh, I'll get in touch with Shiho and find out if she has any plans yet. Well, I guess we'll all just go do our own thing then.
Looks like it's just us now. Oh, I was wondering earlier.
To stay healthy.
Now there's a classic wish, but I think it's a wonderful choice.
And you?
Me? Well... Oh, I'm sorry. It's from my dad. He's telling me that some relatives have come over to the house, so I have to go home and spend some time with them. He decided to come all the way out to the station to get me. My family's kind of serious about their get-togethers.
You should get going.
I'm really sorry. I was the one who invited you here and everything. Dad!
You should hold on to your sleeve. That is your dress kimono, after all. who do we have here? I believe this is our first time meeting.
This is my senpai. The one I told you about before. My senpai who's done so much for me.
Oh, so you're her senpai. My daughter talks about you all the time.
Dad! Not all the time.
Is that not so? I was told you picked these out for me too. I know it's pretty late for it, but thank you all the same.
You're welcome.
Dad wears them all the time, even at work.
I'm quite the fan of them. Well, shall we get going?
What?
Hmm?
No. Well then, senpai.
Weird. I wonder.
What's up?
Who are you?
Who am I? Hey, you've been acting kinda weird since yesterday. What's going on?
Are you two still sleeping? Your lunch is gonna pull a vanishing act if you don't come down soon.
Ooh. Oh, you can go on ahead. I'll be down in a sec.
These beans are the best!
They're all perfectly shaped and so shiny.
You're dead.
Looks like
What
your
are you
recipes
doing
have reached
here?
housewife level quality. You trying to get hitched sometime soon?
Thanks, but no. Hey, come join us.
Try the sweet black beans. They'll change your life.
Good morning.
Have we met?
Oh, is this your first gag of the new year?
Drunk on the spirit of the new year already, huh?
I'll warn you not to try any pranks with Wakaba. It'll only blow up in your face. She'll tease you forever until she finally bores herself.
You know me too well.
Wakaba, your work and your kid were so fulfilling for you.
What's up? Not.
He's been like this since yesterday.
Morning, Mona.
Morning. Do you think there's enough Osechi for me to join you?
Morgana?
Was that a question? Of course I'm me. Seriously, are you all...
Okay, that's enough joking around. I bet you just hung.
Thank you for the food. I can't remember the last time I actually got to relax and enjoy myself on a New Year's like this.
I'm stuffed too. If only I had something to cap off this meal. Like a cup of coffee?
Boy, that was a subtle request.
Oh, does anybody want dessert with their coffee? I'll go pick it up. My treat. You want a Mont Blanc, right, Mom?
Oh, how kind.
All right, I shall return.
Be careful.
What's the matter?
sorry. We haven't opened for the day yet.
My apologies. I merely wish to speak with him for a moment.
Why don't you go and get some fresh air with him? I'll stand guard over your dessert for you.
You say that now, but when he gets back and his dessert's gone, I'm pretty sure he'll suspect it was an inside job.
I can definitely see that happening with Mona on guard duty.
Hey, come on, guys.
Sorry.
I guess I'll start the coffee.
You know, don't you? We have to discuss this.
You remember?
That's right. Just like you seem to be. Come on. Well then, let's try to sort through this situation.
What's happening?
That seems as good a place to begin as any. At the end of last year, I turned myself into the police as the perpetrator of the serial psychotic breakdown incidents. Your memory of this is still intact.
Yeah.
Perhaps the most confusing part of my story comes post-detainment. Obviously, I was thoroughly interrogated about my involvement in Shido's case. But for some reason, after questioning, I was suddenly released. No explanation whatsoever.
That's too weird.
I agree. No matter how one attempts to rationalize it, my release is extremely unusual. More than that, it should be impossible for them to release a confessing suspect after only a brief interrogation. But what's even more unbelievable to me is...
Wakaba?
That's right. Wakaba Ishiki. I can't believe she's been brought back to life. For the time being, you seem to be the only one who's still in their right frame of mind. I should get to the point. Let's make a deal. Let's say we join forces on this.
What would we do?
I want to investigate what exactly is happening here. I'm fairly certain you wish to find out the same thing, no? For the time being, you and I share the same goal. To solve this problem, don't you agree that it'd be safer for us to partner up? Have you made up your...
What do you need me to do?
Well, first I need information. Can you tell me what happened after parting ways with me in Shido's palace? I see. Though some abnormalities appeared immediately, the most glaring ones arrived after the new year. And all of the Phantom Thieves, with you as the sole exception, are living in this altered reality without even realizing it. Go ahead.
Senpai, it's Yoshizawa. I'm in Odaiba right now, and,
What's happened?
I don't really understand what I'm seeing, but I'm just going to describe it to you. It's that building. It's really faint, but I can see that palace thing that Morgana-senpai mentioned a while ago. Senpai, I know this is sudden, but could you come to Odaiba right away?
I'll be on my way.
I understand. I'll see you soon.
That was Yoshizawa-san's voice, wasn't it? I believe I heard her say the word palace.
I guess she spotted one.
Despite not being in the metaverse. You're planning to meet up with Yoshizawa-san, right? I'll join you. We're all but guaranteed to find a clue there. Now that we've made ourselves a new deal.
I mean, as creepy as Akechi's being, he, like, has a point. Like, as the only people who remember the real world, kind of a good idea to stick together even if one of them is a murderer.
And... Akechi-san?
We just happened to be together when he got your call. First a dead woman returns, and now a palace appears. How intriguing.
Akechi-san, you know about palaces?
Would it help you grasp the situation if I told you that I have the same powers he has?
Really? Does that mean you're also...
Allow me to stop you there. I'm not a part of the Phantom Thieves. However, since you've already grasped the concept, it's clear to me that you're a fellow Persona user.
You can tell it.
Yes, I can use a persona as well. I'm not a part of the Phantom Thieves either, though. I just so happened to slip into this palace with him and Morgana-senpai a while ago. But what could be the meaning behind its appearance here? I just happened to be passing by on my way home when I came across it.
Since nobody else is making a scene about it, I assume others aren't able to see it. Or they see it, but it doesn't evoke any real reaction in them.
Yes, that's exactly it. I asked some people in the area, and none of them seemed to care at all about its appearance.
Rather than simply hypothesize out here, we may be better off taking immediate action.
You mean, we should go into the palace?
Not only has a palace manifested in reality, but this is the only one visible to us. I realize I have no proof, but it's highly likely that this is related to our current incomprehensible situation. Wouldn't it be more efficient to just go inside and see what we can learn? That is, if we have the means to do so. Oh, it's...
Oh.
I thought it was gone for good, but it looks like we've regained access to the nav.
I have it as well.
Is there a search history?
Search history... Ah! There's one search in the log, but...
Ugh. The name portion of the entry has been censored somehow. Could this be the doing of the palace's ruler?
Does that mean we can't enter the palace?
Well, we do have the search history, so it should be possible to infiltrate it anyway.
If you're going in, would you be willing to bring me with you? I can't put my finger on it, but something's been bothering me about this place ever since we first entered it. I promise I won't slow you down.
What's your call?
Infiltration time.
That settles it.
All right. Let's do it.
Oh, that's a different... pattern, I guess I'd call it.
Now that I'm getting a second look here, I've noticed just how mysterious this place is. What could this building even be?
It depends on what the palace's ruler thinks of the place. We'll likely find that out if we keep pushing forward.
Is that so? By the way,
What's the matter?
well, I'm not sure how to put it.
Wearing that one, eh?
That one?
Oh, you mean this old thing? Yoshizawa-san aside, there's no reason for me to uphold the pretense of a righteous, sincere detective prince. Enough chatting.
Oh boy, oh boy. I guess let's check out... Oh, we have Loki. We've got Evade, Bless, Levitin, Megiddo, Debilitate, Riot Gun. Oh, that's pretty good. Aegon. Okay, a 0 crit chance, but really high physical damage and accuracy. That's pretty good. Oh, and it doesn't deal with Hama. That's actually interesting. Hold on, was Sandrillion always her persona? I think it was. I guess we did only see her persona once before now, so... Oh, she gets Brave Step at 80. Doubles crit chance for all allies. That's pretty good. Sword Dance is good. Okay, we got lots of blessed stuff. Okay. Oh wow, actually our
Joker, there's a chest.
that's a lot of stuff.
Now, let us depart.
Isn't this wonderful?
It's somewhere.
Hmm. Thank you for coming, patients. You will be guided to one of our specialty care facilities according to your individual desires. We will assist each and every one of you. Rest assured, everyone can become happy. If you have any questions about the facilities, feel free to bring them to our staff members nearby.
I knew it'd come true.
Focus.
This place is weird.
This is the best!
Those Geysers. You aren't among those who desire salvation.
Take us to your ruler.
You are unwanted intruders. Do not disturb our Lord's research. This world's salvation.
The language of a shadow is a hint into its ruler's ideology. This one sounds rather cultish, for example. Sorry, but we're going to pass through there now. We don't have the time to waste on peons like yourself.
Why do you willingly strive for self-suffering? Why are you reaching out to your own pain?
Yoshizawa-san, you can do this, right?
Yes, ready whenever.
It'll be too much trouble to go about this haphazardly. I'll provide the support. Look at this scum pile up. Fine by me. Time for a bloodbath.
Okay, Edgelord. Okay, so I think it's Macabre.
Nothing gets me quite as excited as this.
Akechi-san.
Now, time to obliterate them.
All right.
Okay, this won't be so easy. Fear my power. Loki!
Screw you!
It's time. You're mine.
Oh?
That's one enemy immobilized. Finish it, Joker! That's one enemy immobilized. Finish it, Joker! It's not in the mood to talk.
Well, I guess we'll all out attack.
It's killing time again! I think we handled that rather well, didn't we? Especially considering the last-minute arrangement of our team and all. Yoshizawa-san?
Yes. So that shadow, it said something about research, and also something about pain.
It mentioned salvation as well. All this seems to indicate that the palace's ruler is not in his or her right mind. Oh? I seem to have found a map to this place. Let's make good use of it.
So I've only shared pleasantries with Akechi-san. Would you say this is how he normally is? Like a
Yep, this is normal.
I see.
What say we save the idle chatter for later and keep moving? Unless teaming up with a ruthless sort of person is too much for you to handle.
Looks like we're busted.
I can feel it.
I hope you have a happy life.
I'll reveal your true form.
Alright, ambush him.
Surely we can talk this out. Pathetic trash. They didn't see us at all.
Weakness to
They're
nuclear.
weak in general, and even weaker to nuclear attacks. Too easy. They're immune to psychokinesis, but still weaker than us.
What do we have that has nuclear? We have the best nuclear skill.
Skaha! There!
That's one enemy immobilized. Finish it, Joker!
Up to you.
All right, I'll handle next. Let's dance. Show them, Sondrion.
Good! One got knocked down.
Stop right there.
Are you
Join my cause.
It's not in the mood to talk.
Okay.
For me.
Did we never get bugs?
It's killing time again!
A perfect 10.
Okay.
Excellent
It's
technique,
somewhere.
Joker. The cognitive effects are weakening. There may be a safe...
Hello, safe room.
It's a safe...
I'll just add this.
Okay, there's no velvet room in the entryway yet, so I guess...
Let's get back.
I can see it. I'll reveal your true form.
Pathetic. This enemy is a sad little weakling. Let's put it out of its misery.
Something else.
Persona. I can do better.
I'll break them. To
Hold on.
me! Ah, what a lovely sight.
Fine.
Oh?
Hey, it looks cheerful. Try to be funny.
Yes. I am thou. Thou art
Hello, Chimera.
So, that mask any good?
I mean, hopefully we get the velvet room at some point here. I don't know which way is the,
Can I make a suggestion? Can I make a suggestion?
This is so fun!
What?
That voice. Look. No way.
Everyone will be arriving soon. Mom, Grandma. Yes, she'll be here too. I'm sure she'll be here once she's able to calm down. Why? Why?
Dad? Why?
That was your father in the video just now, wasn't it, Yoshizawa-san? And the one he was speaking to.
Sumire. My younger sister. Sumire Yoshizawa. I mentioned to you that I've lost a family member, right? But how was this video?
Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I don't know what's been wrong with me lately. I've been getting this feeling like I need to remember something, but at the same time, I oughtn't remember it.
Can you still walk, Yoshizawa-san? Whatever it is that's happening, we have to keep going if we hope to learn more about it.
Yes. I'm all right. Let's go.
Hey. When was it that you said you became acquainted with Yoshizawa-san?
Last spring?
I see. Anyway, let's move out.
Akechi knows something. Seems pretty apparent.
This place is enormous. What could this room be?
You seem to be in pain again. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's just that I can't stop thinking about that video we saw earlier.
You mean the one about Sumire-san?
Yes. Let's keep pushing. I need to find out why that was shown to me.
It's somewhere.
I wonder if the Yoshizawa we know is actually Sumire, but like the actual what's-her-face Yoshizawa is the one that died or something.
Do not search for pain. Only tragedy awaits you beyond here.
A newcomer.
All these warnings of pain and tragedy. Who is your ruler? Why do you all think you know so much about me? If you won't give me an answer, then I'll just force my way through.
Chill.
Stop rushing into things. Just calm down.
Oh, I'm sorry.
This is it. Time your attacks with mine.
Right.
Come.
I mean, if I had to guess,
go down.
they're weak to light.
Don't have acid. Yes.
They have dodge less.
Brute force won't do anything here. They're resistant to physical attacks.
What's wrong? Scared?
I'll break them. Manifest!
That didn't look like what I would expect of a gun skill.
Persona!
There.
Okay, but they didn't die, so something weird is gonna happen here.
Such a fool, rejecting our Lord's mercy. In that case, witness it for yourself.
Now what?
Oh wow, the crowd is going wild. Their cheers are shaking the stadium to welcome a new heroine to the world of competitive gymnastics.
Huh?
Thank you so much! I'm simply thrilled with the results I had today. Your performance exceeded anything seen before in the junior class. It was absolutely stunning. But you'll be entering high school soon. Will that impact your career in gymnastics? Oh, I have no intentions of stopping. It's my dream to compete and win at the international level. How wonderful. One last question. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out while you have the chance? My younger sister. She should be here in the stadium.
What?
Oh, there she is! Sumire! Sumire! I did it! Both of us have the same dream, to be international champions.
Stop.
Let's make it come true, Sumire! Together!
Stop it!
Yoshizawa-san? You're
I really hope this helped you understand.
a man's voice.
If you keep pushing on like this, you're going to find nothing but heartache. Please, won't you stop fighting this and just return to the current reality?
Nothing but heartache, huh? I don't understand what you're saying, but I have no intention of leaving now.
We are in agreement there. We also refuse to do as you say. Now why don't you drop the big voice behind the curtain act and face us directly?
As you wish. Head on down. I'll meet you there.
He agreed to that much more readily than I expected. Perhaps the palace's ruler really will make his appearance.
Are you okay, Kasumi?
Thanks for your concern. But I'm fine, really.
Kasumi Yoshizawa, eh?
Once again, Akechi knows something and is not cluing us in.
Show me your true form!
Surely we can talk this out!
It's pathetic trash. They're weak in general, and even weaker to nuclear attacks. Too easy. Skaha! Ravage them! That's 2 knocked down, but you can do more. These pipsqueaks can't tolerate blast attacks. You know what to do. Go! Keep it going!
Allow me! Dance, Persona! Show them, Sondrion!
One enemy taken out by Yoshizawa-san.
Don't move!
Nice.
Are you stupid?
It's not in the mood to talk.
Dazzle me!
Why can't we recruit him?
Slice and dice!
A perfect 10!
All right.
Let's keep this pace going.
Well, that looks like our guy.
Is he this palace's...
It's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Dr. Maruki?
Glad to see you're all doing well. I pretty much figured that you would end up infiltrating this place. Truth be told, this isn't how I was hoping we would meet again.
Dr. Maruki, you're the ruler of this palace?
Palace?
A place where distorted desires manifest. We're asking if you're the source of the desires here.
Ah, I see. Well, to use your own words, yes, I am this palace's ruler. But in my case, it seems a tad different from the ones you've seen.
Would we also be correct in believing that you're involved in the abnormalities outside the palace as well? Yes, you would. Do you like the reality I created for you? You created it? That's right. I have gained the power to alter reality, to make it whatever the people wish for.
I didn't wish for this.
Is that how you really feel? The old reality was cruel and unfair. The truth is, Yoshizawa-san suffers immense pain each and every time she taps into her forgotten past.
My past? Dr. Maruki, what do you mean? What's happened to me?
All right. I had honestly hoped that all those warnings you were given would change your minds. But if it's your true desire, then I want you to recall who you really are. And I want you two to learn as well. Once you have, you'll need to choose between the two realities. The merciless one, or the one I've formed.
That's... Today was brutal, huh? Oh. Feeling okay? It's not that. Why am I doing so bad? I keep messing up my routine.
Your growth spurts just changed your eye level. You'll get used to it. Look, you're as tall as I am now.
We practice the same amount. But you are the one who always gets first place. I can't catch up to you, Kasumi.
You know why? Because it's my right as the elder sister.
We're in the same grade, though.
Oh, don't be so down. We'll reach the top of the world together. That's our dream, right?
You don't get it. Huh? You'll never understand how I feel.
What?
Kasumi, if I were like you, things would be so much better.
Hey, wait up!
Kasumi's the one that people want.
Look where you're going! The light's red! Hey!
The talented one who can reach the top of the world.
Sumire, stop! Listen to me! Sumire!
What? Kasumi.
Ah.
Seems you remembered.
That's right. I'm... Kasumi? No, that's not right. I'm not Kasumi.
The girl named Kasumi Yoshizawa is currently deceased.
It was last spring, before I started at Shujin. We were walking home from practice. It happened right there, on that street in the video. I wasn't looking where I was going. And Kasumi, she protected me from the car. I was saved by Kasumi. I robbed her of her dreams, and even her life. I'm her younger sister. Sumire Yoshizawa.
I'll take over from here. After all, I do play a part in this story. Her real name is Sumire Yoshizawa. She's Kasumi-san's younger sister. But for months now, she's only seen herself as being Kasumi Yoshizawa, her deceased elder sister. Of course, it was only her cognition of herself that changed, so to the people around her, she was still Sumire-san. For some reason, though, there were a few rare exceptions to this. Did something happen to make you believe she was Kasumi-san? It appears you were clueless, but she was Sumire Yoshizawa from the start. However, when we watched that other video, she gave her name as Kasumi Yoshizawa. Considering such an odd claim, I'd actually suspected for a moment that she was the palace ruler.
After Kasumi died, but before I started at Shujin, I received counseling from Dr. Maruki. That was when I told him, if Kasumi is gone and can't make her dream come true, then I want to become Kasumi, so I can turn her dream into reality for her.
So that's why you meddled with her cognition? For her own wishes? That's right. Limited as it was, I already had the power at the time to actualize her wish. Put yourselves in her shoes for a moment. Sumire-san's older sister died from protecting her. Imagine surviving such a dismal tragedy. Who would be able to cope with that survivor's guilt, let alone heal from the emotional scarring that she's suffered? If Sumire-san can live a healthy, positive life by becoming Kasumi-san, then I believe that reality is what would make her happy. I've had enough of your high and mighty rationalization. All you really did was use her to try and make everyone acknowledge the validity of your research. So that's how you see things, huh? That's quite unfortunate. Of course I wanted society to acknowledge cognitive science through my research. But that's because my goal is to save everyone in the world like Yoshizawa-san by ending all suffering. My work will convert the wishes of the people into reality. Even as we speak, my research is coming to fruition. No one will ever have to suffer again under the yoke of an unfair world. This palace, you called it? It's a place where its rulers' desires take physical form, yes? I wish to utilize my research to save humanity. I suppose that would be the desire I hold dearest. What total nonsense. You could very well be right. Still, I'm entirely serious about changing our imperfect reality. Just as she was saved by becoming Kasumi, I'll save every other person in the world currently suffering. In fact, it's my responsibility to do so. You can see how this world's bestowed the duty upon me.
Is that truly
The cruelties
salvation?
of history will vanish, and everyone will live their lives just as they've always dreamed them to be. If you don't call that salvation, then what would it be? And you assume we'll buy into your brainwashing and just live in the palm of your hand. Honestly, that sounds absolutely revolting. Alright, so that's your answer, Akechi-kun. How about the others? Yoshizawa-san, allow me to ask you yet again. Which reality is it that you wish to inhabit?
Huh?
If you so desire, you can return to your life as Sumire. But if you'd rather continue your life as Kasumi, I can grant that wish for you as well.
Dr. Maruki...
Believe in yourself.
It's impossible. I'm sorry, Senpai. I can't go back to being her. I can't be the one who led her sister to her death.
Please don't judge her. This is just evidence of how painful life is for her. You two sensed doubts forming in the reality I manifested. That's what brought you here.
But please, remember this as well. You two aren't excluded from the people that I wish to save. Come now. Won't you accept my reality for your own happiness?
I'll find my own.
No deal so far, huh?
What do you think you're doing with her?
I won't harm her. It's in her best interest that you turn back. You've made clear that you reject the reality she desires. The reality where she lives as Kasumi Yoshizawa.
This isn't reality.
It saddens me when you speak that way. Don't you understand? You deny her wishes when you say such things.
Her wishes, huh?
This isn't just for her. I'm doing all of this for yourselves as well. I honestly do want to come to terms with you. We should talk. Think about it. You both have dreams, no? I have the power to make them come true. My reality can become just the way you like.
Total waste of my time.
A shame, but I understand.
Well then, we just have to resort to force now, don't we?
Violence is not my thing.
This is one of the creepier shadow transformations we've seen.
I agree, though. It seems we're out of options here.
Time to fight. Are you ready? Keep up and don't embarrass me.
Stubborn imbeciles, rejecting our lord.
Disgusting. We're not here to listen to your bullshit.
Needle. Needle.
So this is fear. I'll break them. Piece of shit.
You will submit.
Persona! Throusha! Alright.
Let's just make sure
No
that
time for thanks.
status ailment is not a concern.
Oh yeah?
Come.
We have something for that, right? Use that relax gel.
Come. Ravage them!
Come.
Too slow. It's useless, idiot. Usually make that look easy, Joker.
Ooh, his laser pistol thing like changed appearance a little bit.
Come. Feel me.
So this is fear. Can't stop shaking. Okay.
Come.
Yeah, I think keeping that status off is going to be a little too important.
Come.
So this is fear. Can't stop shaking. Persona! All right. Nice timing.
Come.
Too slow. It's useless, idiot. So this is fear. You make that look easy, Joker.
That must be some kind of move that, like, specifically hits,
That should
Let's hit him with a debilitate, first of all.
It's time. That's not right. Too slow.
Know my power.
Saw that.
It's useless, idiot. Manifest!
Persona! There!
What was I saying? Yeah, I assume that, like, Death Scythe attack like, specifically hits, in the earth, under fear.
Come! Go down!
I think he's just... Oh, he is not just dead.
Such pathetic attempts won't be enough. Come!
This freak just won't go down.
Come!
Oh...
We're about to lose a lot.
Accept his mercy. Give yourselves over to him.
Would you just quit running your mouth already? Joker, I'm going to shut... You'll pay!
Oh?
No more games! Weaklings like you!
That was pretty
Not bad
cool.
for an improvised technique. Shall we continue this? I'm fairly certain any further negotiating is pointless.
That seems to be the case, unfortunately. But first, I have an idea. Rather than explain it with words, I'd like you to actually see this new reality with your own eyes. I know that your friends are already enjoying it.
Let us help her.
That I cannot do. As I said before, she wishes to live in the reality where she is Kasumi. There's no way I can hand her over to you with matters as they currently are. I already told you that I won't harm her, and I'll swear by it. Don't worry about her. Go. Look at the reality I've created for you all. Once you've seen the results, I know you'll realize which future is best.
You think we'll just obey your orders?
I apologize, but you really are going through with this, even if it's by force. We'll meet again 1 week from today, January 9th. I genuinely pray that you'll change your mind by then.
He got away. We shouldn't chase him too far. Let's say we head back for now. I had spent all that time investigating the people around you so I could set you up. To think, Takuto Maruki of all people would be the mastermind behind this absurd situation. And he happens to be warping the very fabric of reality while ranting about making everyone's dreams come true. Talk about incomprehensible motives. I can't even wrap my head around such intentions. At any rate, we need to figure out our next steps.
We need to save Sumire.
Don't you think it'd basically be suicide to try and save her in our current state? We need intel first. If we're going to stand up to him, we have to know more than nothing. I'll do some investigating on my own. I hate that we have to do what he says, but Maruki told us we have to wait until January 9th. Let's meet up here next week. Although I imagine both our lives would be very different if you choose to live in this reality as your friends have been.
That's scary. Got it. Do our answers matter here? Does anybody know? Are you happy? Sorry, I'm just gonna Google this. I want to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay, these are all classroom stuff. I'm looking for... Okay, let's see if this IGN guide does it. I guess the answers don't matter because this IGN guide is not telling me anything, so... Do you like this reality? That doesn't seem right. Captured in Kamoshida's palace, and that's when I met you guys. When we go to Mementos, I transform into a... Keep thinking this through. I got to be useful for humans that I admired so much. Nothing could make me happier. What was... I'm gonna go out and do some thinking for a bit. You should get some sleep. Come on, Morgana. Pull through. Yeah, we'll save. A good idea. Ah, fast travel is not available.
Yongen Jaya. This is Yongen Jaya. Shibuya. This is Shibuya.
Here's the thing though, right? Like, how do these realities work when, like, two people have conflicting desired realities?
Exactly.
Like, Morgana obviously has some interest in, like, An, but An's reality presumably does not include Morgana. It includes Shiho being alive and, or not, you know, Shiho's not dead, but, like, uninjured. Presumably all the bad stuff that happened never happened, which would mean that she never meets Morgana, you know? Like, how do they reconcile that in this reality?
For real? Hmm?
You know, right?
Cheese.
Are you happy with Shiho now? Any doubts about it? I know I don't. I spent so much time worrying over everything that now I'm... Wait, what?
But...
Something is, I remember being so cornered that I just wanted to die, but then I met everyone. And... Keep thinking on it.
Huh? Sorry.
Bye.
I will check up on the other members. It would be nice if we could fast travel to them. I assume they're all going to be kind of chilling where their social links usually were.
Hey, you have a minute?
Also, did Morgana's voice change? Head for Shibuya.
Shibuya. This is Shibuya.
We need to go to Kichijoji to see Haru, but we also just have like a quest marker. I don't necessarily mind just going to see whoever the quest marker is. Oh, there's Makoto. Talk to Makoto. Why not? He is right here. Your dad is?
You're correct.
Hey! That reminds me.
Came to see you. Enjoying the family time?
Hmm?
You and Sai getting along?
No, but...
You're so close. Like, same thing. Like, I presume Sai's reality
sorry.
would include, you know, wanting her dad alive as well, but, like, how does this reality contend with the possibility that two people have different versions of their most ideal reality? Like, is it like a version of the SMT 3 one where it's like every person just gets their own reality, but like, you know, a slightly less terrible version of that idea where there are cognitive versions of everybody else in everyone's reality? But then technically we wouldn't be convincing the original people to join us, we would be convincing our cognition of those people to join us. And my head hurts thinking about this, so I'm just gonna start taking this at face value now.
Hey, you have a minute?
For Shibuya?
Shibuya.
We can at least skip ahead to Shibuya. From there,
Exactly.
does kind of seem like
Wait,
going this way.
how delightful.
Don't joke around. Exactly.
Wait.
Hey there, homeless man.
Cool. Sweet.
So wonderful.
Oh, that's weird. There's all these, like, lightning bolts everywhere. So we know Ryuji's there. Haru was gonna set up something in Kichijoji, but I guess she's not available.
I hope I can do it.
Whoa! No way, man! Hmm?
Enjoying the return to track?
Yeah.
So your leg's fine now?
Hey!
Keep thinking, man.
Huh? Whoa! See ya!
It is a little weird that we, like, go out, have these, like, 1-minute conversations, and then we're like, damn, that was a big day. Guess I should go back. I mean, I get it. They're, like, you know, spacing things out a little bit for pacing purposes, presumably.
Hey, you have a minute? Hey, you have a minute?
Come on, Morgana, you can do it.
Shibuya. This is Shibuya.
Can we, like, fast track to choosing another place? Guess not.
I'm so pumped.
Okay, at least we can run.
Cool.
Ichijoji. The promenade.
That's no good.
I hear ya.
Yes. My.
What are you up to?
Wait.
How's business?
I'm not so sure.
What will you do next? I know you'll get through this.
Excuse me?
Like, I guess for dead people, you know, it makes sense that, like, you can just bring them back as whatever, like, facsimile of themselves you need them to be for the living person's cognition, but... We still haven't checked it up on Yusuke? Trying to think who else we might be missing.
Hey, you have a minute?
Oh, Futaba.
Hey, you have a minute?
Hold on, what did he ask? have I always, okay. Probably asking if he's always been human. I really wish we could fast travel here, like... I get it, it's like a... It's a pacing thing. They presumably want the story beats to play out like a particular way. Like they want time between each thing to, you know, fully digest everything that's happening, but it's really repetitive just walking to the ticket gate like over and over.
Oh, man.
You think I get supplemental grants with nothing but puppy dog eyes? Oh, this could be a rough one.
Really?
Ha!
It goes great with his coffee. You have to move on. You can figure this out.
Huh? I'm okay.
Time to head home.
Hey, you have a minute?
Head to Shibuya. Let's go see what Yusuke's up to.
Hey, did you hear? Wait. I'm so pumped.
Ooh.
What a coincidence.
Whose patronage was that?
Indeed.
Is he a good sensei?
Yes.
The Sayuri looks great there. I have faith in you.
My apologies.
I just want to peek ahead at one thing real quick. Okay, so there is stuff we can do coming up. Okay, but I just wanted to see. There's apparently a choice coming up that results in a bad ending, and I just wanted to make sure we avoid it.
I've uncovered a few things in my
We might
investigation this week.
apparently the same bad ending can occur later. And according to the guide I see here, they recommend for maximum impact, quote unquote, you want to see the bad ending, pick it the second time you get the chance.
So I thought I'd share my findings with you.
What did you find?
First, regarding Maruki himself. He's been researching the treatment of patients through changes in their cognitions since his college years. You already knew about that.
He told me himself.
Maruki's work apparently had enough investors that he was planning to break ground on a research facility somewhere. And as you know, those plans never came to fruition. His funding was cut off, and his research was ended for him.
Did something happen?
It's probable. However, we can't be certain of the reason why, at least with our current understanding.
I'm gonna hope that's Akechi indicating that it was not Shido directly who stopped him. Although, who knows?
What was the purpose of his research into cognitive science? Doesn't it feel like there's more to the story? For example, maybe his research was stymied by someone else for their own reasons. Anyway, that's all I could dig up about Maruki's history. The only thing that's become clearer is his stance on using cognitive science. He's dead serious about saving people. He distorted reality itself to make his dream come true. I can only imagine how delighted he is right now. That reminds me. There was one more thing I wanted to tell you. About the reality Maruki's put us in. It seems that Okumura and Wakaba are both considered alive by all accounts.
What do you mean?
They aren't mere illusions or cognitive beings. They truly are alive and existing in this world. In fact, their deaths seem to have never taken place at all in this reality.
And the Phantom Thieves?
They seem to have been causing a stir in society, just like in our original reality. But Shido alone was arrested on the crime of attempting to overthrow the government. Basically, in this reality, you and I haven't committed any crimes. I don't understand how Maruki was able to distort reality to such extremes.
I don't get how he was able to distort reality with all these like conflicting things going on in it.
But at the very least, he was being honest when he told us that he'd make such revisions, and rather convenient ones.
What do you make of it?
Remaining in this Maruki revised reality means living under his thumb forever. And I refuse to live like that. I'll be the one to choose my path. That's how I've lived up to now. And it's going to continue from here till the end. But what about you? You saw them for yourself, didn't you? Your friends seem to have taken a liking to Maruki's version of reality. Don't tell me you've changed your mind.
Don't worry.
I see. I pray your answer doesn't change when we face Maruki tomorrow. That takes care of the info I wanted to share. See you soon.
See you tomorrow.
Are you going somewhere tomorrow?
With Akechi to the stadium.
With Akechi? You guys are really hitting it off lately. Of course, that's not a bad thing. Hey, so, about what you said before, you know, that stuff about my happiness? Sorry, it's nothing. Good night.
Yeah, we'd like to save.
So, you came. Based on the look in your eyes, I'm guessing your friends aren't going to be of any use to us.
I'm sure they'll come around.
Oh, yes. Because I'm sure you're all just as close as you were before reality was changed. Well, there's no point in griping about it out here. Are you ready? As I mentioned yesterday, it's quite likely that we'll have to confront Maruki physically. If you're not prepared for such a contingency, then...
Airsoft shop. Will we even be able to buy stuff here?
Sheesh. Alright. Alright, which one? That's what you're choosing? How's that? The air's dry, so be careful when you're handling gunpowder.
Oh, it does let us pick his, like, old weapons. That's kind of fun.
That one, you like it?
Like the guillotine saber.
Okay.
Buy a
Sounds
gun.
good. That's what you're choosing. How's that?
Customize it.
Some enthusiasts like heavy guns. There are companies who use heavier plastic in their manufacturing process, but the heavier a gun gets, the thicker. That one, sure thing. That's what you're choosing. You like
Red
it?
5. Similar thing.
Good.
I like accuracy.
All right.
Protector.
All right. Which one? That's what you're choosing. How's that? We've been selling a lot of protectors thanks to the popularity of survival games. Don't break it, okay?
Gold one.
Okay. Come again.
We also may as well equip Akechi with team glasses. We have it. We not have the team glasses? There we go.
how about this? Now,
Good to go.
let us
I don't
depart.
think we need items.
Excuse me, Whoa. Hey guys.
Looks like we've all had the same idea.
Are you here to speak with him as well?
Kinda. So, he's not here? He left around noon. Said he was meeting up with Akechi.
Sojiro said if we need to talk about stuff, we can use this place for a while.
Cool.
You know, he asked me the other day. Something along the lines of whether or not I'm okay with how things are. At first I didn't know what he was talking about, but as he kept going, his words started making my chest feel all tight.
I know what you mean. And ever since then, it's like something isn't right in my heart anymore.
I have no complaints about my current life. On the contrary, in fact. I am truly happy with it. So, in that case, what is this inkling of a feeling I have deep in my soul?
Damn it. I'm so bad at figuring out this sort of stuff. Hey, do you think maybe we're all running away from something super important? I've been kinda wondering for a while now. Maybe the reason his words hurt so much is 'cause he's right. But I was too scared to admit that for some reason. That's why I pretended I didn't understand what he meant.
When I was speaking with him, I felt like I caught a glimpse of this mysterious sight. Something that shouldn't have happened, but still, I felt like I shouldn't turn away from it.
Same here.
And myself as well. It seems that we really have lost sight of something precious to us after all.
That might be. But I'm so scared to remember what it is.
That makes sense. Futaba's is probably... I don't know if it's... I would say it's certainly up there as one of the worst things.
If I remember that, I feel like my life as I know it is gonna end. Oh, Futaba. But even still, I don't want to feel this way anymore either.
Me too.
Guess that's it, huh? He was trying to tell us all something important, and I bet he's probably still working on it somewhere. Ain't no way I'm gonna bail on him just so I can keep running from... whatever it is.
When I had that strange experience you all mentioned, I saw him and the rest of us there together. I want to believe the connection we share here is a genuine one.
Well, I know if we don't do something soon, we're gonna lose our connection with him. Don't ask how I know. It just feels like the truth to me.
I admit I am happy right now, but I just can't accept the situation as it is. I'm done with trying to escape my problems.
Huh?
Well... If I must...
All right.
Okay, so we officially unlocked that showtime. So are we just not gonna get the Velvet Room? I would like us to.
I can see it.
Assume we're not gonna get to like wander around and just look for treasure again.
I'll reveal your true form.
Is this the end? We've got them surrounded. They're immune to psychokinesis,
Persona!
but still weaker than us.
You're mine.
That's one enemy immobilized.
Persona!
Finish it, Joker!
Skaha! There!
There's 2 knocked down. But you can do more, can't you, Joker? It's killing time again!
Okay.
Excellent technique, Joker. It's a treasure chest. I don't see any...
I'll reveal your
There
true
we go.
form.
Jeez.
We're sure they're weak, but they're also immune to fire. Use other affinities. I'll break them. To me, Loki! That one was too easy to knock down. That one was too easy to knock down. It's killing time again! Try aiming.
Let's do this.
Let's do this, Joker.
Come on.
I was hoping to see whatever Akechi's like all-out attack thing is, but
Just trash after all.
Okay.
Okay, let's hurry ahead. Looks like there's a safe from around.
yeah, let's
It's a
save.
safe.
I should write something.
Now, let us depart. Hey. You did it!
Thank you for coming.
What's wrong with Sumi?
She's only sleeping. I've never had any intention of hurting her. Once her inner turmoil begins to settle, I'll have her remember her life as she wishes to live it.
The life that she wishes for, huh? Call it what you like. You're merely brainwashing people for your own satisfaction.
I'm wholly aware that some will interpret my acts that way. But if that self-satisfaction leads to the happiness of thousands of others, don't you agree that outcome is for the best? If I understand correctly, you went and checked in on your friends this past week. This reality is the one that they all wished for. Did any of them seem troubled by that fact? This reality is the true reality. All you have to do is recognize it as such. Once you do, you'll be just as happy as they are. Didn't you see it yourselves? Your friends don't just want to live these lives. They want you to choose this reality for yourselves and live happily too. Please, I want you to understand. For their sake, as well as yours. Well... For the sake of Yoshizawa-san and the rest of your friends, I ask you to give me your answer.
I can't accept this reality.
Huh?
Negotiations seem to have broken down.
I see. It seems we still haven't reached an understanding.
No. You're not serious, right? Please. I'm begging you, Senpai. Please let me live as Kasumi.
Don't hide from the
But
truth.
why? This pain is too much. Why can't I just leave it behind me? Kasumi is gone forever, and it's all Sumire's fault. I can't live that kind of life. Please, don't try to stop me. If you do, then I'll...
Don't do this. You will
How
lose.
stubborn. No matter what you say to her, I doubt she'll understand. I don't think we have a choice in the matter here. I could take care of it for you right now, but you'd prefer her to leave here alive, right? Just hurry up and...
Please. I can't stop this. I refuse to live as Kasumi's killer. Persona!
Detox.
I can't go back.
How ironic that the, I'm pretty sure that's the ability we got from Maruki's Social Link.
Not that.
Sondrian! No! Persona!
Saw that.
We are just going to
Why
evade
are you
basically
doing this to
everything.
me? Please, just leave me alone! Sondrian! Please don't do this to me!
Your crit rate is up, but will you even be able to hit
It's not
me?
over yet! Persona!
Oh, she actually did. Okay. But we still win.
Looks like you lost.
Why?
You need to stop.
Senpai. No. I can't. I can't go back to being Sumire. You saw it all for yourself, Senpai. It's my own fault that my sisters... Why don't you understand, please?
Yoshizawa-san. I can give you strength, so you don't have to suffer.
Doctor...
Tell me, if you want your pain to end, and desire to live as Kasumi, I'll actualize it!
Did he?
Sadly, she has lost sight of herself. She's in pain. Now, be her guide, and together, escape from the nightmare!
No, I can't. I don't want to go back to my life in cinders ever again.
What the hell? This so-called kindness of his disgusts me. Let's do this quick.
I refuse to go back. I'm happy here. This is where I belong.
I'll rescue you. The only way I know how.
It's gone totally berserk. We need to stop her persona.
I'll take that.
It ate the smaller one? What a pain. We'll have to beat it before...
Let's go. All right.
Let's just make sure
Persona!
we're healed up.
Manifest!
Out of my way!
Damn it!
Stand down! Stand down!
That's a problem.
Persona.
Payback time!
For my joy!
Persona! Ravage them!
Fear my power!
Fortunately, we're kind of lacking on moves that hit everybody. Detox.
So this is fear?
I'll take that!
Come! There.
Station.
No time for
This
thanks.
is actually going to be a difficult fight, I think.
I'll break them.
Too slow.
I refuse to return. I will never go back to being such pathetic, soot-coated garbage!
You can't tell? It's her refusal to accept the truth.
Oh, okay. It was like a scripted thing the whole time.
We can't afford to waste time on this shit! Here it comes!
I don't think so.
Yeah!
Damn it, Skull. I told you not to rush him by yourself like that.
At least it seemed to work out in our favor.
I knew you'd be here.
Our apologies for making you wait so long.
Is that...
Akechi-kun and Dr. Maruki?
Yoshi's always trapped by... Why is her persona doing this? What in the world is going on here?
Oh, Morgana, we have so much to
of this shit
explain.
makes no sense, but we'll cover it later. We've got to stop her first, right, Joker?
All right, let's get in formation. Okay, guys, leave the navigation to me. Let's push him back.
Unbelievable. Why did they come here?
For my joy!
That was awesome, Mona.
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything reckless.
It's time. There!
Fear my power!
It almost seems like we should switch Akechi out. Because he's weak to light, which I think we've seen the boss can do.
Persona! Manifest!
Whip him, Persona!
Aglayastra. They block wind.
Let's go!
Knocked down! He needs cover!
I won't hold back! How
Bonus
is
health
that?
is low!
Persona! All right.
Go ahead and use salvation.
Thanks.
Good thinking.
Payback
Rose up
time.
again! It's payback time!
Yeah, I think we need to switch him out. I think let's bring in. Bring in Yusuke. He's got a lot of good stuff.
I'll take the 4.
Persona! Eat this!
Persona!
Shit!
I'll take that!
Super move! Ultra charge!
Ooh.
Persona! Something else.
Got it. This is my other self.
Take this! Persona! Ha!
Witness
Ooh, we are hitting hard.
I'll finish you! It looks like it's working. Just hang in there a little longer.
Let's go!
It's time. Ravage them!
I am thou. Kamususa no!
Ooh.
Lend me a hand.
All right. Whoop 'em, Persona! Persona!
I mean, yeah, let's just do that again.
Persona! Ha!
Woo! Much thanks.
I'll take that!
Persona! Skaha! Go down!
Have we actually used Diamond Dust yet? No, we
Knocked them
have.
right off their feet. Nice, Joker.
Do it!
Not done
Yes!
yet.
This is my other self. I lend it.
I will
Hoping for a
I
trip
am
there,
thou.
but
Crush them, Kamususa no!
oh well. That works.
Got him, Fox. One enemy hit the ground.
Baton
Not
pass.
done
Okay.
yet.
Let's go. Ravage them! No more waiting!
Let's show them some real power.
It's showtime!
I can't lose.
You sure were hungry. Come forth. Lather cell. Ha!
Stop!
There we go.
I can hear them. The bells of midnight are tolling. Now, my dream won't be. The clock strikes midnight.
Woohoo!
It's a step forward.
Yoshizawa-san!
You've all... I can't believe you've thrown away your happiness just to come here and... And how? It's impossible.
You're Dr. Maruki, right?
That's right. More importantly, why are...
Dude, what the hell's Doc doing inside a palace?
He's ruling this palace, is what he's doing.
What?
Not only that, he's the one who's generated this whole distorted reality. Isn't that right, Maruki-san?
All of this was done for your own joy.
Our joy?
That's right. I only wanted to grant your wishes. Each and every one.
Wait, you what? What do you mean? We never wished for anything like that.
Is that really true?
Huh?
No, never mind. So, you all intend to deny the reality I've created for you. If you want to fight me, then so be it. If you plan on changing my heart, that's fine too. But before that, I think there's still room for discussion here. Also, I believe taking care of Yoshizawa-san is more important than settling this issue right now.
Planning to run again?
We can get back to fighting if that's what you really want, but I think you're rather exhausted at the moment.
Yoshizawa-san!
There's still time. February 3rd. I'll hear your final decision on the 3rd. If your views can't align with mine by then, we'll have no other choice but a physical altercation. As much as I would loathe that, I still can't give up what I've started. What I swore I'd do. On the day I lost everything that mattered to me.
I've lost his reading. I want to pursue him, but I doubt that's even possible right now.
Let's get out of here. Yoshizawa's gotta rest anyway.
I'm still just as shocked as I was when we first came here. The navigators returned to our devices. A palace is visible in our own reality.
Does this mean reality's broken right now or something? Something to do with Dr. Maruki anyway.
Hey, how much do you already know about this stuff?
I guess Akechi just took off.
Dr. Maruki... He altered our reality to make our dreams come true?
This is all too much for me to handle at once.
Apologies for the interruption. Mind if I interject?
That's right! Akechi!
There's no reason to be defensive. Had I wished to kill you all, I would have simply done so already.
He's helping for now.
So you're not here to fight us?
I've already put our feud behind me. Not only that. Since he and I both refuse to accept reality as Maruki sees fit to make it, we currently have the same goal.
So what you're saying is you're using him.
What about the rest of you? Considering how you were all living your ideal lives in that other reality, until you decided to come here. Maruki seems to be telling the truth about taking your happiness into consideration. While his heart is distorted, he is quite different from the adults whose hearts you've changed so far. Now that you know his intentions, I'm most interested in learning whether you still plan on fighting him or not.
What do you mean?
I'm up against someone with the power to distort reality as we know it. The more allies on my side, the better. If we all share the same goal, shouldn't we join forces and improve our odds? I'll be going now. Be sure to consider my point.
Hey! Hey! Jeez.
Yoshizawa, are you alright? Oh, yes.
I'm sorry that I caused you all so much trouble.
No, you don't need to apologize.
We should probably go our separate ways for now and discuss it at a better time.
Yeah, tomorrow we can... Oh yeah, Third semester's starting up tomorrow, right?
I guess we're going back to school, huh? We still don't have any idea what we want to do from here on out, though.
We've got time. Maruki said he'll wait until February 3rd before... Let's really think it over before making our decision.
So we're cool with just letting Yoshizawa go home on their own? Given everything that just happened?
I didn't know you guys were out together. Wait, what's wrong, Futaba?
Hey, Sojiro? Is Mom?
Mom? You mean Wakaba? Well, what about her?
Nah, it's just I happen to remember something about her, that's...
I see. You know, I caught myself thinking about her earlier, too. Well, I'm gonna head home for the night.
I'm gonna stick around a bit longer.
I see. The place is all yours. You've got school tomorrow, too.
Mom really is gone again. Sojiro sees it that way too now. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what happened before we came to rescue you. We all ended up here at the same time after you left for Odaiba.
What was that? Wait, you're...
What the? Oh yeah, that's right. Why were you human, Mona?
Yeah! You're supposed to be a cat!
I am not a... Oh wait. Yeah, I guess I am a cat.
How did we never realize?
You know, we've got more important things to do than sit around here and figure out what happened to us.
That's right!
You said he was headed to Odaiba, correct? And with Akechi-kun?
We need to find them!
Oh,
Once
everybody
we got
rallied.
to Odaiba, we spotted the palace. You know how the rest goes. You were fighting this whole time, weren't you? While I was just bumming around town without a care. I'm sorry. Deep down, I always suspected something strange was happening. Something wrong. But being with my mom was so much fun, I stopped trying to figure it out. But I've totally snapped out of it thanks to you. I'm all good now.
It's okay if it's difficult.
No worries. I'm fine. With... School's tomorrow, right? We've all been through too much today.
You've gone cat again.
Yep.
I should write something.
Okay, we are like past the time that I would have liked to end this, so we're gonna call it here. This has been really cool. This is going in interesting directions. I can't wait to see how the rest of this goes. But until next week, I hope you have a good week, and we will see you next week for some more Persona. Until then.